Okay, let's see what's on today.
Ooh, look, Jesse, what's this?
Pikachu!
Ooh, Pikachu all by himself.
Pikachu!
Oh no.
No.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z. A few minutes later.
No.
Rosalinda, te quiero más que he querido a María. No me dejes, por favor.
No.
Give up, Jester. I know it was you that was behind it all.
Now this looks interesting.
Ooh, Ratman, are you gonna go and punish me?
Never mind.
What does a guy walking on a park, holding a book, and you have in common? Neither of you can get an erection. Ask your doctor to prescribe Instaboner. Please immediately go to the hospital if you have an erection longer than 3 hours. Medical side effects include severe blisters and peeling skin, blisters around the penis, red, painful palms and feet, shooting pain, numbness and tingling, constant rollings of 1 on a D20, loss of smell, a painful permanent erection, unusual urges for sex and gambling, nightmares and vivid dreams, instant death.
Ugh, no. What time is it anyway? Oh, that Cold Read podcast is on twitch.tv/Zamoody. Let's go check that out.
Coming in from 4 different places on this rock we call Earth.
There we go.
4 actors come together to talk about their experiences. This is Cold Read, a voice actor podcast made by voice actors for voice actors. We're not claiming to be professionals, but by sharing our experiences, we hope you, the listener, can gain better understanding of what we do and how we got here. With our hosts, Renara Hawke,
You may not know it, but I am a very, very shy individual.
PrincessPashley,
Brian, if you'd stop asking questions and just fucking listen, you'll find out.
Eldurrino,
In an unforgiving dog-eat-dog world.
Wait, what? Who the f eats dog?
Zamoody.
I'm a pretty princess!
Today's topic is demo reels. And now, let's roll tape.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever this actually goes. I appreciate each and every one of you being here, either if you are currently live or if you are tuning in on YouTube or listening to us and now available in multiple podcasts, which is Apple Podcasts. We're available in Spotify. We are available pretty much anywhere that you can find a podcast. We are definitely there. So hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So this intro, I got to do the intro this week. And I'm going to thank Raven Main. Raven Main's now in chat. Thank you so much for providing to one of the voices that you heard. The other person I need to thank is Shoshipi. Shoshipi's Pikachu impression is pretty spot on, I think. So
I agree.
Oh, that was sheep.
totally.
that was Shoshipi.
That's great.
Right.
Wait, who did Raven do?
Raven was the actual person talking about in channel surfing. That was Raven Main's voice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
So I hope you all enjoyed it.
That was amazing.
Well, you guys raised the bar so much when it comes to the other intros that I had to come up with something. So it took me a little bit to come up with the concept, and I've got lucky.
Down with you.
Yeah, because I reached out to Raven Man. Raven was like immediately. He's like, oh hell yeah. And then I'd already had Sheepy to do it before. So first thing first, obviously, no guests today. We're going to try something a little different. We're just going to check in. Today's topic is demo reels. But first, let's look in on how everybody's week has been. So let's start with Renara, because you're over on the other side of the world. How are things over there?
Things are starting to settle down, but as things are settling down, my workload is increasing because I got cast in Kaldheim from last week, which was really awesome.
Congrats.
Thank you. It wasn't for Rune Eyes. It was actually for another one that, because I auditioned for 4 roles on that, because there were 2 that were male/female that they didn't know if they wanted who they wanted for it. So I thought, may as well do that. And so they cast me as Orhalf Stonebeck, I think it's called.
Ooh.
And it's a they are a they them, so it was very interesting to adjust to that because I'm not that. So that was interesting to step in too. And I've been doing a project which I know you and Eldurrino are part of as well for Matman, which I spent most of today doing as well.
Nice.
I need to do that recording, but I haven't had a chance to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been busy. I've had to do an update for my channel just to let everybody know what's going on, and I hit 100 subscribers!
Yay! Congratulations.
It took me about 4 or 5 years, but I'm there now.
Good. And like I said, it's going to take a couple weeks for that personalized link to come up, so don't worry about that.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been my week.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the new role. That's very awesome to hear. And it's a paid role too.
It is. I'm getting paid $15 for the main lot, and then the casting director put up some small ad libs roles that people could grab, up for grabs basically. So I nabbed another one of those, and I'm getting paid $5 for that. So overall $20 for the whole thing, which is crazy because this is the first time I'm being paid to do stuff. Voice stuff.
And it's a recurring role, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. It's an ongoing thing. Yeah. It's an ongoing. I think it's based off of a card game. I think I'm not.
Yes.
I need to do my
it's
research
based on
on it.
Magic.
Yeah. So it's ongoing, and I will be linking whichever the episodes I'm in onto my own playlist. But you can find them on YouTube. I think they're on Spotify, on SoundCloud as well. I don't have the links, but I will send you, Zamoody, the links to it so that people can find that and stuff. But yeah.
Very
cool.
Awesome. So
cool. Congrats again.
Yes.
2 big accomplishments in 1 week. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And then still having to juggle a professional life as well as everything else that's going on.
Right.
Yeah. Still deal with kids on a daily basis still. Yeah.
Man, doesn't it suck? I'm just kidding. My kid is great.
Well, here's the segue. Actually,
online work is just.
Yeah. How are you, Pash?
Yeah.
Me, I'm a little bit north of overwhelmed. No, we had a tough day yesterday. Well, a couple days ago, Brian went to turn his car on and it didn't turn on, and I'm like, well,
that.
yeah. So we got jumper cables from my ex-husband.
Oh,
it's like the weirdest thing that he's
awkward.
helping. But anyway, no, it's a good friendly relationship between the 3 of us.
Good.
But yesterday we went to jump it. We thought it would be really quick. And I thought, I just didn't think it would be an ordeal. And it was an ordeal. It took the entire day. So we're a little tired. We had one fight yesterday, and it was about something stupid just because I was stressed out about everything. And
yeah. And that happens, unfortunately.
Couples fight, and that's,
It's healthy, I hear.
And it is healthy to expose your anger to your loved ones sometimes. But I love my new job. I'm super excited about it still. We're still in the honeymoon phase of it. I feel like a friendly fire hose has been shot at me, but
Oh my.
And I taught a voice lesson. I taught several voice lessons this week, and I was feeling anxiety about, starting a studio and starting to teach people to sing, speak, etc. But the more I'm doing it, the more I feel better about it. And so that's another added layer of fire hose in my life.
Right.
So I don't know. It's a lot, and I don't want to hog time.
No,
So,
no, you're fine. You're fine.
yeah.
So,
You're
and
fine, go
one
for
of
it.
the interesting thing is I actually want to do the voice lessons with you only because I want to learn. One of the things that you can pick up is your breath, how to control your breath, and I would love to be
Yep.
able to get in there and do a class with you. So,
FSO, and that's exactly what FSO and I talked about today. And huge shout out to FSO. Like in the middle of our lesson last night, it was supposed to be last night.
Mhm.
Brian's like, I got to go get my car, and I'm like, oh, can we wait? And he's like, nope, the shop's gonna close in like 15 minutes. I'm like, okay. So I was like, can I meet with you tomorrow, FSO? I promise. So yeah, it's just chaos, absolute fucking chaos. But yeah, no, that I have some things, I have some tricks.
Yes,
offer?
yes, yes, 100%. So we will definitely talk online. But it's something I would recommend if you're looking into voice acting, doing the operatic stuff, doing the voice or the breathing exercises. That is something that can help you because as you're doing your take, if you can do a quick intake and just do it all in one, you don't have those breaths in the middle that'll really throw off an audition. So something to keep in mind.
Right.
And I think the voice production end of it, like if you're someone who's doing a ton of voice acting, if you know how to use your voice efficiently, then you're not going to wear your voice out as much.
Yeah.
I mean, I would throw that out there. And just improving the quality of your voice and the control of your voice can really expand. It could, if you give yourself paintbrushes, it'll expand what you're capable of vocally. So
it also sets you apart from other people who have not had that training. So
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pashley.
Drink your water.
Drink your water. Yes. Eldurrino, how was your week?
Oh, sorry. It was interesting. I took the time to improve or completely overhaul my demo reel. I had a day planned for it, which was Thursday. I actually took that day off because I needed to go to the dentist for the first time in a few years. In order to just get a general consultation and some cleaning and whatnot, and talk about taking out one of my teeth that's been busted for about 4 years now. And so, so I got there and they were like, we can't. So normally when they do a cleaning, they have a little like water jet to remove like tartar in between your teeth. Well, they're not allowed to use that right now because of the pandemic, because it creates an aerosol in the air. So they took an hour to go in between each one of my teeth and underneath my gums with the little hook pick thing.
Yeah. They couldn't use the ultrasonic thing as well either. Sorry, they did that with me. They had to do it scrape. Ugh.
Right. So trigger warning coming up. There was a lot of blood in my mouth on the little thing that they clip around your neck, on the hygienist gloves. Like it was a mess.
It was a bloodbath.
It was not pretty. And
Pash. Hi.
And so that day of me wanting to do my recordings was basically shot because my mouth just hurt, and I tried taking some like ibuprofen afterwards. It was not a good day. So I sat around all day and played Death Stranding, which, by the way, I asked this question last week. That game is getting really freaking good, and I love it. So
you go check the cost on that right now.
It's well, I will preface it by saying it is not a game for everyone. This game rewards patience and planning. So if that's not your thing, don't even bother because you will not get into it.
Is it a scary video game? Is it jump scary stuff?
It's made by Hideo Kojima, and he loves fucking with the player. So there are some scary moments. I don't want to say much because I don't want to spoil anything because it's a very spoiler-heavy game.
I think creepy and unsettling is probably a good way, mostly because of the themes and what it deals with. It's unsettling in your humanity, if that makes any sense.
Right, but it's a very interesting sci-fi flick. Well, not flick, but game. And as far as the story goes, I've been liking it a lot. I still don't even fully understand what it's about, but I'm very intrigued, and I now can't stop thinking about it and wanting to replay it.
Dude, Mads Mikkelsen won an award for it. Best performance.
It's got a lot of big names. It has Norman Reedus in it.
Mhm.
It has Troy Baker, which
Mhm.
was amazing because like Troy Baker has been very well known in the voice acting community for some time, and I
Mhm.
got to the part this week where he was revealed to be one of the characters, and I was like, "This is amazing." And then he does a fourth wall break, and I'm like, "God damn it, you sexy bastard!" Uh, so, but yeah,
Mhm.
all that aside, started going back to the gym again this week.
Good.
I was actually watching Pash yesterday whilst I was there.
Creepy. I mean,
And then
yeah.
slightly. And I also took the time to do my demo again.
Mhm.
The whole thing took 6 hours, about an hour and a half to record, and then 4.5 for the editing process and selecting bits that I want to use and all that stuff. So, but I think it turned out really well, and I'm excited for everyone to hear it.
Awesome.
So that was my week.
That was your week. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So just so everybody's up to speed with me, I've gosh, where do you start? It's been a busy week. I went back a long time ago, and I mentioned the whole thing started for me being here was an ear infection, and all that happened. Unfortunately, it seems to be coming back. It's on the right side of my face this time, so this will be an interesting see how this all comes out. I was in urgent care on Thursday getting intravenous antibiotics. Yeah, and I've got a whole just thing of going. So I'm trying to enjoy. As you guys can tell, I'm in the middle of a subathon. For those of you that don't know, on Twitch, it's basically you start with a certain period of time. As people donate to you, the stuff grows. I wanted to celebrate something nice, so I'm celebrating 1 year of being on Twitch. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, so thank you all for that. On the voice acting side of things, I did post that I actually got cast for my first paid role. FSL, thank you so much. I got all the alerts off. Thanks for the
Oh God.
for the 5. I appreciate you. I got cast for my first role. So it's an actual paid role. It's for a visual novel that's coming out later in the year. And it's off of voices.com. So
nice.
Yeah. This is going to be a fun thing. And let me tell you, so far, it doesn't look too different from like all of the other projects that I've done. So it's not intimidating to
yeah,
because this is on more of a professional pay scale now. It's not the lower end stuff. So this is going to be a great experience. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Very nice. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
So, and we'll segue into that using, because part of being on voices.com, you need to have these things that are called a demo reel. So before we go into how to create a demo reel and everything else, let's talk about what a demo reel is mostly used for. So first off, the first thing that you want to do when you start voice acting is not a demo reel. The demo reel happens much later. Because
makes sense.
The demo reel is your first impression to anybody who wants to hire you. And when you're beginning to do voice acting, your green shows a lot in your editing, in your acting, in your breath control and all of that. So you want to wait till much later in your career. I waited 6 months. I probably honestly can still wait longer, but I was fortunate enough to have a very good editor when it comes to putting my stuff together. So I use that opportunity to do that. So for the most part, everybody, and my recommendation, and a lot of people out there will generally agree, do not do your first voice reel, because you want to send that out, you want to put it out, you want to put it on Twitter, and you don't want your first impression to be a bad demo reel, because you can't take that back.
Right.
True. Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's creating your resume essentially. You don't want to, put out a resume to some high profile job and say, well, I've been living with my mom the whole time in the basement and, I have 0 work experience. So here you go.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to actually kind of build more of a repertoire first. And then once you get, enough experience under your belt, then you can create something like that.
Okay.
So I know, Ren, you actually haven't made one.
No,
And you've been
mostly
at this.
because I didn't know how to, and I wasn't sure because it was the whole thing of I don't want to put the wrong foot forward. So I was like, I'm just going to do as many as I can and build my portfolio first,
Gotcha.
and then
Right.
learn how to do it later.
Yeah, and that's good.
It's very good. And I know, Pash, you mentioned it in your intro last week. I didn't want to correct you, obviously, but for the most part, it's not something I would. I mean, you've been in the voice production industry for a while, so you know what you're looking for. So
Yeah.
I can understand that. That's how you would want to move forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have the basis of what a demo reel is. Kind of like I said, you start maybe 6 months down the road, maybe a year down the road. And the demo reel is a living document. It's a living file. It's never really shouldn't stay the same for too long, because as you get your roles and as you get your experience, you alter, you evolve, and your niche, what you do well, will change.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind as you're going.
Absolutely.
I know you just made yours, Eldurrino. So you want to talk about the creation of your demo reel?
Sure. So
On the spot.
As part of my decision to get into voice acting came from doing role play. And so when I was, getting into the process of creating it, I made my first demo reel very early on. Obviously, that was a mistake. I used a lot of already made scripts online, very generic stuff. And it was just more because I wanted to have something that I could present to people if they asked for it. I was hoping I wouldn't have to use it too much, but sites like voices.com or Backstage or something along those lines, they all do require that you have a demo reel, and most, if not everybody, will ask for your demo reel. They don't. It's not the same as Casting Call Club where you just do an audition, record it, send it in. And so I, from the very awesome advice from Zamoody himself, he suggested don't use generic scripts, create something yourself. And that's exactly what he did. And so I thought back to my role play days, and I thought about the 4 different characters that I swapped between. And I have talked about this in prior episodes. And I felt like that was a great opportunity because I know the characters very well. They are something that I've created myself. And so one night last week, I just sat down and I wrote 3 separate recordings per character. And then when it came time to the recording process, I recorded them. I did a few takes of each one just until I found something that I actually liked listening to. And then once I had everything recorded, I went back. And then with the advice of my girlfriend as well, I narrowed it down to 1 segment per character. And that would be what I threw into my reel.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to creating a reel, and Zamoody, I'm sure you're going to cover this here shortly as far as the technical setup goes. You do want it to be within a certain time frame, so that it's not too short, but it's not too long as well. I made mine just a bit long because it was really difficult for me to narrow all of my recordings down. But I only had 4 characters, and that only gave me about a minute's worth of material. And so I decided that most of my characters are comedic. I have 1 more serious character, but I wanted something that kind of expressed a bit more emotion. And I also wanted to do more of a villain role because none of my characters are villains. So I just wrote lines for those as well. I had to shave a lot of them down because it was far too long. It was like 45 seconds each. But I shaved them down to the part that I liked the best, and then I threw that in there as well.
And it's really good. I mean, you've got the idea dead on, because the problem with using generic scripts is that they're obviously all used, and people will recognize the same lines being said.
Absolutely.
Voice acting isn't about, like, when it comes to opera or when it comes to a play, these are not preset characters. For the most part, they're very unique characters. So if you're doing the same thing over and over again, and somebody hears it, they tend to tune out. They tend to get boring. You want to be interesting when it comes to your demo reel.
Right. And you need something that sets you apart from the competition. You're basically throwing yourself out there and saying, hey, this is why you should pay me. This is what I'm good at. And yeah.
So ultimately, that's the goal. You are paying me for me just to say these words in a particular way. And I want to make
Paying
sure
for a
that,
skill.
yeah, exactly, that it's showcased in the particular. So like Ren, I could see just based on your opening that you've got that narrator voice that's super awesome. You can be that like airy, wise, ethereal. So I could see you putting your demo reel together with that. But like Eldurrino said, you're going to start with like a paragraph of script, and it's going to turn into one sentence.
Great.
Because that's pretty much all that you're going to have time to say.
Okay.
And you want to do these swaps in between the characters because you want to showcase your range.
Would you say like trying to do one-liners for like as many different characters as possible, would that work?
Depends. So you can, but if you try to fit too much into one, you're going to overwhelm the person.
True.
Right.
So when it comes to the sweet spot, from my understanding, from everything, all the research that I've done, 75 seconds, minute 15 is the golden range for a voice reel. You don't slate your beginning. And for those of you that don't know what a slate is, a slate would essentially be, hi, my name is Zamoody. I'm trying out for Darth Vader. Luke, I am your... Oh, shoot. I don't have... no sound effects. Darn it. It's on the other side.
Get wrecked, dude.
Oh, nice. I had to swap over. But yeah, that's what a slate is at the beginning. And you don't want to do that on a voice reel because they already know who you are. They came to find you to listen to your reel.
Yeah.
So it's not necessary.
Right. Just a small note on that as well. As far as slating goes, from what I've seen, at least, it is not recommended to slate ever unless the person specifically requests it. I see this a lot, especially on Casting Call Club. Like, there's some people that know what they're doing or have good acting experience, but they end up slating, and it takes up like the first 5 seconds of their recording. People are immediately going to tune that out, and they're going to throw it in the bin because it's not important. They have hundreds of auditions to go through. They just want to hear what you can offer right from the get-go. And then they're going to, like we had discussed this before, they're going to listen to the first 5 to 7 seconds, and then they're going to decide whether or not they should keep you or not. So if you fill that first 5 seconds with your name and what you're auditioning for, they're just immediately going to toss it aside. So don't slate unless it's specifically requested.
And let me add a little bit more to that. If you were to slate, do it in the character that you're already trying out for, that you're auditioning for, because that sets you apart
Absolutely.
from everybody else. At the end, if you do want to put in, you can put in your phone number. You can do that in your regular voice if you want them to hear it. But for the most part, you want to do it in the character because that'll put you on a different note. So, yay! Are we good? Any questions on that? I'm gonna actually take this opportunity. I'm probably gonna play one.
Oh.
I'm just ready to. I want to hear it. I want to hear an example so then I can kind of visualize what I might do for my one now.
So the first one I made, I'm gonna play first, which is my character reel. So. It's minute 14, so it's 74 seconds long, and I'm playing that now.
So, what are your plans for when this is all over? What was that? Get down! Incoming! Oh. I will not fail my queen. Stand behind me, your highness. On guard! Ha! Yeah! You know, all you need to do is just talk to her. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? She'll say no? Think about it. What if she says yes? In that same instant, we found ourselves in a place of suffocating dark, facing a creature that defies description and whose recollection causes my quill to jump and shudder. You really think I came all this way for some stuff? No. I came here for blood, and it will be spilt. Yes, I knew his overconfidence would eventually be his undoing. Yinagu has already sent a replacement for him, one more capable of the task. For Yinagu.
So as you can tell, 74 seconds is actually a lot longer than you might think.
Right.
So it's one thing to always keep in mind is the other person that's on there, you want to keep them entertained. So you'll see that I'm jumping from one character to another character, going from different ranges. So I'd love to hear what you guys thought of it. And I will step back for a
That
second.
was a lot different to what I thought it would be. I won't lie. I wasn't expecting like the music and the sound effects and all that stuff behind it because I'm so used to. I don't know. I guess I've never really heard. I've just heard people. Some people have just done it straight of just examples of the things they've done with nothing in the background. But I loved the fact that there was music and stuff because that made those characters more real. If you know what I mean, and you get lost in it more than you would with the other one. And I'm glad I've heard that now because that's given me some ideas.
Right. And I feel like that's definitely more of like an embellishment to your voice. If you can find, good sound effects, good background music, whatever the case may be, it really helps bring the character that you're trying to represent in your reel to life.
Yeah.
And you'll hear that as in mine as well. Like the background and whatnot doesn't necessarily match to the character. It sets a scene as opposed to just matching like I have a character that's a redneck meth head. I could have used some country music to make that character, but I decided not to. I used something else so that you can hear or try to understand the scene in which the character is in.
Exactly.
And as opposed to like a general acting reel, I feel like it's very important to have those embellishments or that flair in there so that you can, bring those characters out and show everyone what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And I will note in this particular reel, and it's also noted in the comments, there is no altering to my voice. The other reel that I do have has some, again, to accentuate when it comes to certain characters. But this is more of my natural range in itself.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
I'm making notes as we go through. I've got like sticky notes up, just making notes.
and it's okay to use as long as obviously you're using royalty-free music or your own that you've created and your own sound effects.
Wasn't the first, because I recognized that first music and I swear that was 2 Steps from Hell, or so like I recognized the music you used for the first one though. I'm not sure unless it's from the YouTube library. But that's
It might be from the YouTube library.
Yeah, fair enough. I spend a lot of time on there.
Kaicho says, taking notes is the smartest thing. A pencil never forgets. That's very good advice, sir.
True, true.
Pencil and paper. Can't just like draw on your desk, Kaicho.
Hi. Very cool. All right. Any other notes?
No,
I want to say go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I share the same opinion. I didn't know that there would be production in there, just like a little bit of production. So I guess that's important to note. It's not just
No, it's
no.
no.
What else you can do?
Yeah, you can be very creative when it comes to this stuff.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I just wanted to say that your third character, talking about like introducing yourself to a woman, sounded pretty similar to Weird Al, and it kind of threw me for a loop.
That was okay. So the characters, if I remember correctly, it was Soldier, it was Knight, it was older, wiser brother.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah. So I
sure
realized
it's not Weird Al.
It is definitely not weird. I mean, as you can tell, it's I don't have the curls for it. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm very excited to hear. Oh, you didn't give me the file.
Okay. It was too large. I couldn't. But
me-
I will say, up the volume all the way in the player, and then as soon as it's done, be ready to hit pause because it will autoplay the next thing, and it could be extremely loud and annoying.
Well, can I download this? This might be easier if I can download it.
I don't think so.
That's okay.
I can throw it in. I can throw it in my drive real quick if you. Oh wait, I thought.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna swap my share, so you guys are gonna have to pick it up again.
Okay. I was gonna say. I mean, I can just put it on my drive real quick and then send it to you.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, it's just if I can play it in Discord, it's a lot easier because I can get it all in one place. So I didn't notice it was different. Apologies. All right.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Let me do a quick test.
Come on, where?
Oh, there we go. I can hear it. I can hear it. Everybody hear it?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Come on, where are you, you son of a bitch? I really need to work on my organizational skills. Oh, there you are, my girl. Sweet, sweet crank.
Do you understand what I am telling you? Have you no empathy for your fellow humans? Forgive me, but you must realize what is becoming of your kind.
How many goddamn toys does a dog need? What happened to just throwing a stick? Unbelievable. These things are nothing more than just soft pieces of shit. Jesus Christ, they released the hounds! Everybody, into the trees, move it!
Look here, sweetheart. You want the job, don't ya? Just get me a picture of that sexy Latino man from the bingo hall and bring it back to me. Oh, and get me a pack of Misty 120s and some scratch-offs while you're out, or I'll punch you in the neck. Thanks, darling.
Hey, wake up! Having a nice nap, princess? You ready to talk now? 'Cause I'm getting awfully tired of your shit, Mark. Very fucking tired! But I guess you're okay with that, right? You never have to hear Mom cry at night? You never have to deal with Sam asking where his father is? But I do!
All right, I see what you mean about the commercial. Very nice. I very, very seriously saw a distinction in the characters. There you've got two very similar voices in there. I'd probably separate those a little bit more, or try to put something in the middle, just so you can.
I need to rearrange them, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
because I thought about that after I finished it.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that points out to me, because I was listening through, I think again there is two very similar, and I think it was your villain one where you were like, I'm very tired of your everything. Like was it like supposed to be like Kylo Ren where he's talking to somebody strapped down or something? I don't know. It sounded more like the anti-hero rather than a villain, if you know, or it didn't say it though. If you know what I mean?
Diesel. Yeah. Okay. I see
It
what
was
you're saying.
more. It was more somebody with lesser power being more angry than somebody who commanded a room, if you know what I mean. And usually big bad guys and villains often have that presence of like they don't have there's a ness to it that I think yours sounded more like you were just getting frustrated and angry and upset. I think that's the only thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, so the entire script, that was only about a third of it or so.
Okay.
The rest of it, so the idea behind the character is he's insane. He has someone strapped down to a chair, like you had said. And he is more or less trying to get information out of the character that he's speaking to. It involved like putting a gun to his head, cocking the trigger on it, stuff like that. But due to time's sake, I couldn't put that in there. Good information to have. I might redo that and just rewrite it maybe, and
maybe try maybe more not sinister, but like more you as a villain, you own this room, you have the power over this person. It's a bit like when teachers hit the ceiling of getting too angry, they lose control of the classroom, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So you don't want to hit that ceiling, if you know what I mean, because then you lose power.
Well, directly after the very fucking tired part. There is supposed to be like a cackle, and then you hear like a neck crack kind of thing,
Okay.
And then he goes on to kind of not monologue necessarily, but I think the next line was like, something, silence doesn't really suit you so well. So he clicks the gun and puts it to his head. So
I think that would have been better, because then you've got that more. It shows how much power that character has over this person, and that you're finding it funny that they're in this position, if you know what I mean, rather than getting angry at them. I think.
Yeah, I could probably just like shift over what it was, where I would start at like the I'm getting tired of you part, and then
Yeah.
lead that into the cackle and then the gun clicking or gun cocking thing. Good to know though.
Mhm.
I had fears about that, but I decided just to put it in there and see.
Yeah, and that's
That's
the
why we're
idea for here.
here.
Exactly. That is exactly why we're here. Yeah. Pash, any notes for that? Or are you good?
No, I think Renara covered it basically.
I agree.
I guess I have one question though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, how much swearing? And I'm not, you know me, I swear like a fucking sailor. Like, as far as like putting yourself out there, do you want to have swearing in these reels? Like,
No, I would not recommend swearing in a reel.
okay.
I like the
I
way that
liked
you did
when
it.
he-
I
I like the way the squeaky toy covered the other one with the dog park one. I loved that.
Yeah,
that was really
that's actually
good.
that was a really good way of covering it.
Yeah.
It's very good. I like the way that you did that. For the most part, to actually say any of what is it, the 7 deadly words, I would not recommend putting it on a demo reel. You can note that you are willing to say those things.
Sure.
Because sometimes that is a question that comes up when you're doing an audition.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
And the last one is my video game reel. So I will.
I'm intrigued to see the difference.
Yes. All right. Here we go.
Everyone, hands up and mouth shut. Valuables out of your pockets. Ah, damn. Who tripped the alarm?
You adventurers. You think because you're big and strong, you can just take anything.
How can you have the most lifeless personality in a room full of mummies?
I am sorry, Rose. This
virus
is
rewriting
my programming.
Welcome, adventurers. I seek your assistance in locating a magic ring. Many wondrous adventures and treasures await. You will not defeat me, monster. Meet me at the top of this summit. There we shall see who is the victor.
Hordes of liars and cowards have come to me, but the trust only lasts until we've served their needs. No god will save you from my wrath.
And there you go.
Damn, that I like that. That last one, I was like, oh yeah, I feel like that person could beat me up.
So there's the difference there between, because you heard it in the Android part, you heard it towards the end. There was a pitch down a little bit.
Yeah, a lot more manipulation, a lot more like I guess effects. I found it a lot more genres of game.
Yes,
covered rather than of character.
Correct.
Which is the main distinction I'm getting from that sort of thing. And through the different genre, the more change in your voice came, which I found made it easier for me to understand the difference, basically.
Sure. And the same thing, the music and the sound effects were just there to accentuate what the action was, for you to see that it was a bank robbery gone bad, or
I felt that virus. I was like, legit, like, oh my god.
Well, I'm glad that it worked out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's essentially, when it comes to demo reels, that's more along the lines of what I would recommend to put in there. So this has been the culmination. There's a couple of roles that I've actually done that inspired some of these.
Yeah.
Right.
So you recorded it. Did you send them to someone else to cut together, and then they send it back to you?
Correct.
Okay.
So my side of it is just my voice in multiple takes in a clean file that I sent to somebody who I recruited on Fiverr, who then put it all together, mixed it, made it all level, and then put the sound effects in.
Yeah, I think for EQing, you really, really want someone with good ear with that.
Okay.
Because that is a special skill.
It
I'm
is.
working with someone right now who does that. But it was really funny because like I'm trying to put together promotional materials for my job, and it was just a video of a woman giving a testimonial about the workshop with the kids. And it was an MOV file, and they sent the accountant in for like a simple bookkeeping task, in my opinion. And so they wanted me to cut it to 30 seconds, and then so. And long story short, this guy could hear the difference between me putting a denoise and whatever on it, and then his work.
Sure.
So those guys are definitely trustworthy, and they're worth the investment.
They are, and that's where a lot of the investment comes from.
How much would it cost? Does it does it cost a lot to get to? Because I don't have that many links in that area because I'm so used to doing all of the cutting myself. So is there any area, like places you would recommend? I guess I'm not
Use
sure
his
where
guy.
to start. I mean, I didn't want to put anyone on the spot, but would anybody here be willing? Obviously, like, I don't know. I'm really bad. I'm really bad at this part.
No, you're fine. I can tell you that I know my limitations when it comes to voice. I don't know how to do it. I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
And that's why I reached out and I hired somebody. The guy that I did it with charged me $40 to do it, which is not bad at all.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Considering how it came out, that he did the sound effects, that he did everything else, it was not terrible. So if anybody's, I'd be more than happy to share with you his information.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And you would think about like you're investing in yourself, like definitely. Would definitely say spend the money if you can.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just a case of spend the money wisely you know what I mean? And there's so many, there's so much out there that you kind of like, I'm always worried to pick something, spend a lot of money. Because at the moment, I don't have a lot of money to spare.
Right.
Because of everything that's going on. So it's kind of like.
But if it's the one time for like the demo reel, like I paid to have someone do my resume and my LinkedIn, and it actually was a huge help in me getting my job. So that money returned on investment, so to speak.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, that's basically the same thing with anything involving this line of work, whether it comes to your mic, your recording environment, your demo reel, all of it. It's a long-term investment. You pay some money now, and it may seem a bit overwhelming at first, but as long as you keep at it and you keep applying for jobs, at some point you are going to get paid work, and then it's going to pay off for you.
Well, I've got half of it now with the one I'm doing now. So if I find another one, I'll be able to pay for it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And let me tell you, this particular level of demo reel is more of a placeholder, because eventually you're going to want to do it in a professional studio. You're going to want to do it with professional sound editor, but you're talking $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 just to be able to edit 75 seconds worth of stuff. And you've got to bring your material for the most part. Some of them will actually provide the scripts for you. But this this is the start. This is again, I'm not saying this as a professional. I may have worked as a voice actor and paid as a voice actor, and I consider myself a professional voice actor. I am not at that level of professional voice actor.
Right.
Yeah. So that's something else.
We're not Laura Bailey level yet.
Yeah. So it's like I'm still at the very beginning stages of everything. So again, and we say it in the intro, this is our experience. We're not professionals. I'm not claiming to be 100%. I am the end all be all. There is a lot of information out there to look for.
But you're Zamoody the Grey. No, joking.
That's what they used to call him. Now he's again.
I know we're kind of. I know we're reaching the last 10 minutes or here or so, but one thing I would like to talk about real quick is having multiple reels. As demonstrated here, Zamoody has both a character reel and a video game reel. And I'll let you speak more about this, Zamoody, because I feel like you probably have more experience on it. But I feel like it is important to have multiple reels available based on what you're applying for. Because some places are looking for characters, some places are looking for video game work, but there's also other lines down there. There's infomercials, regular commercials, radio commercials, all that kind of stuff. And you want a profile that is going to fit what you're applying for.
Okay.
Different tools for the different situations. So each demo reel is essentially a tool. And you're absolutely right. I actually do have one more reel that it's like one of the first ones I made because I joined Backstage.com and they required you to have a reel. So I did a commercial reel where you came up with the commercials, put it all together, put the music in, mix that all together. I don't advertise that one because, in all honesty, I was not happy with it, but it is literally like the first thing I did. And it's somewhere in the ether.
Maybe next week, because it'd be good to see where you started, if you know what I mean. Because then that might give people like they'll see.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I would definitely, because especially like I'm bilingual, I can put together a Spanish reel, which I can, because there is a lot of work that comes through voices.com and other places that are specifically for Spanish. So
could I throw in like a wrench here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Was that a pun? Because we're talking about tools.
Kind of.
Fuck you.
I'm going to make a bad car reference. I'm going to throw a wrench into the battery.
Is that what happened to Letty's car?
Well, maybe, I don't know. I got so mad at him. No. So I guess my question is, where's the landing for all of this? Like, so there's Casting Call Club, and it seems like a lot to keep up with. And for someone like me, who I'm like, I don't multitask all that well when it goes beyond 2 or 3. Like, is there? This is kind of projecting into like, oh, you have a studio quality demo reel, like thousands of dollars. Is it worth to have like domain, to have your own website, to have your own like landing page, like
100% yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because it's the same thing as being just a regular actor. You are your own business. You are advertising yourself to the world. You know, having your own like YouTube page, your own social media, a website, all of it helps in the long run. It's just whether or not you have the capability of doing so and the investment.
Would you say maybe making a Wix website? I know it's really basic, but like that, would you say that might be a good way to start?
It's like your business card. So 100%. It's something that you can say, hey, EduardoRydell.com. Go and look it up. I own the domain, but I haven't created the website behind it. I've had a couple offers of people, and just we haven't had an opportunity to connect.
I mean, you could really go fucking crazy with those things, like $2,000 to $3,000 for creation. And then here's the other layer of complication is the security of the website.
I wasn't saying anything, Zizwar.
Well, so we had a website meeting this week, and the sound guy took a course in WordPress and built a new website. I was just talking to FSO about this, and but our old website apparently has a ton of spyware on it. It has, so it's just something else to consider. Like, don't cheap out at your own risk.
Yes.
As many of you know, I do work in IT. I can confirm this as well. Pay, like, you'll see websites are hosting for $5, $10. Don't go that route. It's someone hosting it in their basement, and they think that they have some type of security setup, but it sucks. They're probably using Norton antivirus or Norton 360. It's garbage. Go look at like dedicated server hosts and pay the money that it's going to be a little bit higher. It'll probably be up, like $30 to $40 a month. It's worth it. I can absolutely guarantee it'll be up 99.9% of the time. Any issues that arise, they will fix it immediately. Any breaches that may or may not occur, which chances are there will be at some point, they will deal with it. You need to make sure that you're getting what you pay for. So if you see places that say, "Oh yeah, I'll host your site for $5, $10,"
no. When you say dedicated server host, this is me not understanding IT. What do you mean by that? / could you give any examples of that? Because I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
So a popular one, at least here in the US, I don't know about in the UK, but a popular one here is Squarespace. It is a website creation company that basically they give you the templates to build your own site, and they try to make it as simple as humanly possible. And then they also offer to host your site for you. at a
Okay.
monthly charge. You
That
can
is
go that
doable.
route, but at the same time, you can also do your own research, and you can pay someone to build the website for you.
Mhm.
You can, if you are good at graphic design, you can build it yourself and then just pay someone to host it. It's entirely up to you. If you ever have any questions about it, feel free to email ColdReadthePodcast.
Yes, at
And
gmail.com.
yes,
Yep.
and then Zamoody can forward that on to me. I would be more than happy to give you recommendations
Okay.
based on my own personal experiences. I actually have a couple of friends that is their job. They just basically they run servers and they take care of the maintenance for it, and they're quite reasonable when it comes to their
Okay.
price. So
Okay.
yeah.
Ren, I saw that you
Yeah.
had an epiphany in the middle of that. Was that the question that you had, or do you have a different one? I saw you go,
I don't
ha!
no, because they said Squarespace, and I
gotcha.
recognized Squarespace because I remember seeing it advertised on everywhere. In
Right.
England, we had something similar. I don't know if it's over there. It's Wix.com.
We
I
have
think it
Wix.
is, which is very similar to what I think is Squarespace is, but I don't know how reliable they are.
Mhm.
Because I had a look at it. It looked, again, simple templates. I gave it a go, but it kind of, I was doing it for different reasons. I know WordPress, that Pashley said, because I have a WordPress one, but it's not under Renara Hawke, so no one can find it. 'Cause
Damn.
it's
That is a
more my-
whole thing.
it's my creative writing space. It's my space, sort of thing.
Right.
So at the very least, they're good places to start. And now that I have a place to start, I can go from there, sort of thing. Springboard. Woohoo.
Yeah.
And we
Okay.
could I think actually that would be a pretty good topic for next week's discussion as well,
Yeah.
is advertising yourself, putting
Yeah.
your name out there. Once you have, you got the equipment, you got
Yeah,
your
the
demo
do's,
reel ready to
don'ts.
go and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Once you've, kind of started auditioning, where do you go from there? And
Yeah.
at that point, it's really about showing the world, hey, I'm here. I like money. I have a voice. Hire me.
And to be able to stand in that
Right.
spotlight and not crumble.
Exactly. True.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. So let's start kind of wrapping this up a bit. So we've discussed a lot when it comes to demo reels. My recommendation is wait. Don't be impatient. Enjoy your time. Learn what you can. Go to Casting Call Club. Pashley, like you mentioned before, where else would you go? There are like voice acting resources available. There's a Discord that lists all of the paid. I can connect that to you after we're done. That's a good place to go. That may be where we get most of our auditions from.
Oh, okay.
So it keeps an eye on Twitter, Casting Call Club, anything else. So it's a good place. I'll post it up on Discord so people can find it if they need it. One quick thing I did want to say: I got a tweet from somebody, Burnham. I don't know if you guys remember Burnham from Twitch Sings. He got inspired by our podcast and sent some auditions.
Nice.
Yay!
Wow, good for him.
Yes. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, super happy.
We
Shout out to Burnham.
inspired people, guys.
Yay! We did something. We accomplished something. Any final words from anybody in the last couple minutes that we got left?
No,
Never give up, no matter how hard it seems to be, because there will be times where you're going, oh my god, what is this? Why is nothing happening? Whatever. Keep going. Don't give up.
Yes,
Just keep
absolutely.
plodding.
You will hit.
Try new things.
You'll absolutely hit low points during this process. They're rough, but you keep pushing through. You will make something of yourself if you just keep with it.
I'm 100% sure that at one point we're going to talk about it. It's called imposter syndrome, and I've had it a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be a
let's
topic in
go.
itself, I'm sure. So something to look forward to, maybe in the next upcoming weeks when Eldurrino, if hopefully we'll have you here. We understand you might get some surgery, so hopefully some dental.
That's in a few weeks.
Oh, in a few weeks, perfect. We got a little time.
Yeah.
All developers have imposter syndrome, says FSO, so something to consider.
I have a lot of, barring there's some emergency with the move, I should be here next week.
Awesome.
Cool.
It's just barring. The internet, I scheduled Verizon to be there at 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday and to install my new service, et cetera, et cetera. So, I should at least be on the internet.
Awesome. On behalf of Renara Hawke, on behalf of PrincessPashley, on behalf of Eldurrino and myself, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. We would love to hear from you. We would love to hear your auditions. ColdReadthePodcast at gmail.com. And we will catch you all next time. And cut.
Bye.